Oh,
Of course, we are committed to engaging with the youth on issues that affect our society. So joining us today to discuss the recently concluded general elections, race, and so much more is Darrion Narine, Director of Planning and Development of the Youth Votes Matter campaign. Good morning, Darrion. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing this morning?
I'm cool, just Irie, man.
Nice. Well, Darrion, we featured you and your team prior to the election, and since then, quite a bit has happened. Firstly, I want to get your thoughts on the election and the recount and the recent concession.
I'm very happy that we've come to a place where we can actually move forward. We would have had some issues with the election, of course, where there was a bit of back and forth between the party that's supposed to form the opposition and the party that is supposed to form the government. I see these issues as being something that's rather problematic, especially everybody's entitled to asking for a recount as your democratic right, but just in terms of criticizing our democratic process can sometimes be extremely problematic. So I'm happy that we came to a place where we now have that firm understanding of how we are going to move forward, and that we can actually, in fact, move forward. So I look forward to that swearing in ceremony as well later this afternoon.
now when it comes with the upcoming soaring ceremony later today at 4 p.m., which
Mhm.
ministries will you be paying close attention to?
The question might be, which ministries are we not paying close attention to?
Ah,
Was
boy.
it?
Uh, there are quite a few, but of course, immediately the Ministry of Finance would be one. We want to see what would be the new budget and what that new budget would look like and how those
Right.
allocations would look as well. But also, I'll be looking at the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Energy. Ministry of Agriculture, of course, for sustainable food security, especially in this time of a pandemic. We need
Right.
to ensure that we are looking at that and looking at our import bills, etc., for food to make sure that we actually can sustain ourselves going forward. In addition to that, the Ministry of Energy, I'm hoping that we can look at some diversification inside there and move towards more initiatives around renewable energy as well. And then on a personal level, I'll also be looking at the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Culture. Ministry of Education, especially with our current pandemic, we know that a lot of things have moved online. So, what is the future? What does the future of Trinidad and Tobago look like with this new online platforms?
Right.
And then I'm an artist, so the Ministry of Culture is one that I'll be looking at because of the orange economy, and we've seen the orange economy being affected and impacted in a very serious way during this time as well. So I think that COVID-19 really has our eyes focused on so many different areas to see what the next move is.
Now, when it comes to the ministries you outlined there, and you were speaking about specifically about the Ministry of Education, where the technology needed and how things are going to be digitalized in the upcoming future. The Prime Minister did speak of the formation of the Technology and Data Records Ministry itself. What do you think about that?
I actually think that might be a good move and a positive move. We're seeing a focus in on specifically our technological sector within Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a necessary one at this point. I think now is as good a time as any, and I'm really looking forward to the establishment of that. And you mentioned something very essential inside that formation, that team formation there, and that's of course data. And data collection is something that will inform all our decisions going forward. So I'm very happy that there is a focus, or that there is a likelihood that we would be moving towards a ministry or a team that is centered around data collection.
Now, Darian, stemming from the election campaign season, there was a shift on social media and it kind of became a bit toxic and filled with a lot of racial divide and that kind of thing. Um, how how has this impacted you personally, and how can we begin to change this conversation? With young people having, or people generally on social media having all these toxic, negative things to say, especially about race, stemming from the election season.
One of the things that I oftentimes tell people is that we live within a cosmopolitan society. But the issue is a lot of the times is that we're always preaching about unity and coming together and this togetherness and all of we is one family and is love and is peace and all of this. But the issue with that is that, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for love and for peace and community coming together and the togetherness. But the issue is that when we say that we are one family, we do not take the time to really speak and understand the plights of every single family member. And that becomes problematic because very often we say, yeah, boy, we're family, we're together and stuff. But then when they start to speak about the issues that they face, the discrimination that they face within the workplace, the discrimination that they face on a daily basis, the marginalization that some races and some ethnicities face as well, we shy away from those conversations. And one of the things that I've noticed is that the older generations have oftentimes said, whenever the topics around race, politics, or religion come up, we should shy away from that. And now all the world's issues are around race, politics, and religion. We really saw a dark side of Trinidad and Tobago coming out after the last general elections that promoted a very high level of divisiveness. But it also came from a serious place of ignorance. And I was extremely disheartened and very sad because there was a lot of misinformation being passed around as well. And the condemnation of it by I think, people who hold power within our society, to me, wasn't significant enough. We didn't come out and we didn't have that denouncement of it almost immediately. But I sat there and while I was reading through some of the comments on Twitter, on Facebook, that really hurt. Seeing it on both sides of the racial divide, on all sides of the racial divide and ethnic divide, we decided, I actually came together with a few friends and we decided to launch off a campaign called RACE, Respecting All Cultures Everywhere. So a play on both ideologies, both culture and race and ethnicity. And we're going to be examining things like prejudice, stereotypes, etc. So we're actually launching that at 8 p.m. This evening on Facebook. So I'm really happy to have that on the way, because I just feel as if like we need more than just the announcement of this. We need more than just call it out, but we also need to have the education around it. We need to be able to inform people of their behaviors that might be discriminatory, of course, their prejudices that exist and the stereotypes that exist as well.
Okay. I look forward to that campaign and how it's going to change the conversation and how it's going to change the mindsets of people as well. But I want to find out, I mean, your company, Youth Votes Matter, you guys did a fantastic job of mobilizing the youth and getting, that youth vote up a little bit. I want to know, now that Jamaica's election season has begun, are there any plans for the Youth Vote Matters campaign to go regional?
Yes, of course. So I don't know if you're all aware, but I'm the Vice Chairperson, Inclusion and Engagement on the Commonwealth Youth Council, which caters to 1.2 billion youth across the globe. So the idea is for this campaign not only to go just regional, but also internationally across the Commonwealth.
Nice.
So we do have every intention to be entering into that Youth Votes Matter campaign into Jamaica. So we're very happy to be entering into the yard, yeah. And I see that as being so essential and so important right now. So we're looking forward to that September 3rd election, and we actually start that campaign. We kick it off from this Friday. So it's going to be a lot of action, and we look forward to it indeed.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Darrion, I want to thank you for your time this morning. I think that we have a lot in store when it comes to Youth Votes Matters campaign, especially looking forward to the race campaign starting this evening from 8 p.m. So congratulations in advance and continue doing the hard work that you're doing. It's necessary work. I know sometimes it might be more challenging than it needs to be, but keep it up, continue doing it, and we look forward to all the things that you're going to be bringing to us.
And thank you so much, and thank you so much to Trinidad and Tobago for listening in and tuning in as well, and thank you to TTT.
No problem. Take care. That was Darrion Narine, Director of Planning and Development at the Youth Votes Matter campaign. And we look forward to all these things that are in store. I love to see young people doing great things.
Yeah, that's right. A lot more young people are doing great things than they get credit for.
Definitely.
Because oftentimes you hear the young people are the leaders of tomorrow and stuff, but there are so many young people leading now.
Yeah. And it's very important that we recognize those things and we give them the credit when
we highlight it.
Of course. And that's what we're here to do on the Morning Show, for sure.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have so much more in store for you guys.
for the younger